A lot of people are about to click away, but if you've been feeling stuck, exhausted, or forgotten lately, this message might explain why. Because what if the biggest thing standing between you and your breakthrough isn't your situation? What if it's the version of you that God is still preparing? Most people pray for the blessing, very few people prepare for it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Maybe lately you've been asking questions you don't say out loud. Questions like, why is this taking so long? Why does it seem like everyone else is moving forward while I'm standing still? Why does it feel like my prayers are hitting the ceiling? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. In fact, some of the strongest people are carrying the heaviest burdens, not because they're weak, but because they've been fighting battles nobody else can see. And after a while, even strong people get tired. They get tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of wondering whether anything is ever going to change. But here's something most people never realize. God is often doing His greatest work when it looks like nothing is happening at all. Think about a building for a moment. Nobody celebrates the foundation. Nobody drives by a construction site and gets excited about concrete being poured into the ground. People celebrate the finished building, the grand opening, the success, the result. But the foundation is what makes everything else possible. And right now, God may be building a foundation in your life. A foundation of patience, a foundation of wisdom, a foundation of character, a foundation strong enough to support the future He's preparing for you. Because if the blessing arrives before the foundation is ready, the blessing can become a burden. That's why preparation matters. That's why growth matters. That's why waiting seasons matter. The problem is, we often interpret waiting as rejection. We assume that because the door hasn't opened, it's never going to open. Because the answer hasn't come yet, we assume it's never coming. But what if the delay isn't denial? What if it's development? What if God isn't saying no? What if He's saying, not yet? Because there are things God can see that you can't. He sees the opportunities that haven't appeared yet, the people you haven't met yet, the doors you haven't walked through yet, the version of yourself you're still becoming. And maybe that's why you're here today. Maybe this isn't about what you're waiting for. Maybe it's about who you're becoming while you wait. Because one day, the thing you've been praying for will arrive. And when it does, you'll realize the waiting season wasn't wasted. It was necessary. It taught you things success never could. It taught you patience. It taught you resilience. It taught you how to trust God when you couldn't see the outcome. And those lessons will stay with you long after the struggle is gone. So if you're feeling discouraged today, don't focus on what hasn't happened yet. Focus on who you're becoming. Keep showing up. Keep growing. Keep believing. Keep moving forward even when progress feels invisible. Because invisible progress is still progress. A seed doesn't break through the soil the day it's planted, but that doesn't mean growth isn't happening. And the same is true for you. Just because you can't see what's happening doesn't mean God isn't working. Just because you don't understand the process doesn't mean there isn't a purpose. And just because you're in a difficult season doesn't mean you've been forgotten. In fact, this season may be preparing you for something bigger than you've imagined. So don't quit. Don't walk away. Don't let a temporary struggle convince you that your future is permanent. The story isn't over. The chapter isn't finished. And God isn't done with your life. One day you'll look back at this season and realize something incredible. The thing you thought was holding you back was actually preparing you to move forward. And that changes everything. Keep the faith. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think.